Well, as always, stuck in this American prison. Few people to come by with a good attitude, leaving me rarely in a good attitude. But it's the circle of bad attitudes. We call that This is America. The circle of This is America. You know, if you try to put into words why and how everyone's lacking civility or being rude or not making any sense, it is what it is, you know. I was having a conversation with someone. You know, we're willing to endeavor on spending thousands of dollars on mental health while putting people constructively on the street and forcing them to deal with life in a situation where it's difficult to even get a job without a car, and have somebody who's even one of your closest friends be willing to put you up onto a couch because they use coronavirus logic, like we're using right now. You know, coronavirus logic is 500 means pandemic, 200,000 means quarantine, 150 million means we're never going to fix the problem, so everybody just survive. You know, it's not socialist or capitalist to say, hey, there's a bunch of places here. We're living in a modern society where if we don't put people into these places, they have no chance of getting a job. They have no chance of gaining their sanity. And from a Freudian perspective, environment, not personal individual problems, are contextual to the variable interest under which one grasps mental health. So, naturally, you know, the President of the United States will be like, well, Freud's wrong. Freud's wrong. It is not environment. I'm not creating mental health problems by not giving people shelter, food, or water. There's food stamps for that. We're giving out food stamps, damn it. Pull yourself up by your bootstraps. Accept hard love. Yeah, because that's you know how you built the country, right? Jesus Christ, tough love and pulling yourself up by your bootstraps. You know, Jesus was all about creating a sort of universal therapy system under which you could gauge somehow, some way. Society was ultimately on your side. It was like a delusional anti-schizophrenic condition. It wasn't true. It was still just as delusional as thinking everyone's against you. But, you know, in a broken world, in a working world, one of the two is or isn't delusional. Naturally, obviously. But, you know, that's relative when you're dealing with somebody who's always right because he's American. And that's the pandemic we're really in right now. America loses. You know, America won the trade war. America won toppling 40 democracies and 75 years of super dominance. But did it win anything, really, when you think about it? Not really. What's up, bro? Because here we are at the end of everything. And we've won nothing. I don't even want to live in this country. I don't even have a family who loves me. Because I smoked some spice and pointed out I felt abandoned by them online. You know? Broke down how environmental variables were driving me nuts. Not chemical imbalances. Hallucinogens made me a little nuttier. Not schizophrenia. But they can't ever go back on what they said because they have to always be right. Or somebody who's around them might think they're wrong about everything. Oh my God! No! No, could America be wrong? Could America, in all of its beautiful big dick liberty, be wrong? No, I'm American. I'm American. Oh, somebody make me right. Jesus, come back to me. Jesus, come back to me. No, he's not coming back. Not for you guys. Clearly not. He's looking down on you all right now like, holy crap. What the fuck did I do to produce that? I really should have not answered those Americans' prayers in the bunkers to continue fighting the Nazis. I really should have just let the Nazis take over. You know, everyone would be speaking German, wouldn't be any Jews or blacks, and, you know, we might not have produced a kosher society, but at least we'd have good farmer life, we'd have civility, and no one would have a reason to fight because they'd all be Nazis. I mean, technically, it's not a lot worse than what I did by answering those World War II vet prayers. Sorry to be a dick, but it's true. And as long as it takes you to figure that out, is as long as your broken world will continue not seeing Jesus anymore. I can't help you. I'm desperate to get out of this place. I know theoretically you're just thinking, well, you're just a hobo who's not doing the right stuff and not coming up. It's like, clearly you're all following me around, fucking with my head, and sabotaging my life, while putting me into positions where I have to live without an ID or freedom to gain freedom. Yeah, this is why your country fucking sucks. This is why I'm going to create a documentary which destroys every living creature who defends it on this planet. Every living creature who defends America will be destroyed. Everyone who gives back into accepting Jesus. Making sure homeless people aren't homeless. Taking the risk to save life, like a social worker, not a war hero, or not like a, I don't know, whatever. I mean, even the surgeons charge money to save life. I mean, I know that sounds crappy because they don't get paid very much because they're still stuck into the same capitalist bullshit we all are, but whatever. Ben Carson got rich off it, did he not? Saving life. Even though I'm pretty sure it was the good surgical work of social workers who saved his. But ultimately it was Jesus who saved his, because through that delusion that the world was not against him and was for him, in fact, he saved himself. He got into Yale or Harvard, I forget which one he chose. I just remember that scene at Toby's Dinner Theater where he's like, should I go to Harvard or to Yale? Well, quite interesting, but I think I should choose, I don't know, I don't remember. But he went somewhere pretty good. These are not options for me. The world wants me to submit to it. Wants me to not have all the general freedoms because I am a liability to their modern state of ganghood, which is principalized by their ambitious not to have a global government, but be the global government, not to have communism, but be communism and say it's capitalism, and think that socialism is communism and has no ability to democratize itself, even though capitalism, when in its extremist forms, produces an inability for grassroots campaigns, which is at the heart of what democracy is, to survive. So, what have we learned here? Well, if McCain hadn't done what Joe Biden's doing right now, Joe Biden would have never gotten into creating the debt he created with Obama. And we'd have a war hero and some evangelical Pence running the country's situation after Bush. But who knows what that would have, turned into. We don't know. But ultimately, trying to figure out how to end this on a decent note somehow, but I'm pretty sure I've just played the Phantom of the Opera in the most humiliatory way ever. It's like an organ of farts. I call that my good instinct. Yeah, boy. But, anyways, what do I say? Well, I'm not going to submit. You're gonna have to kill me. And fuck you to all my old friends and family who really did nothing while watching me crash and smoking too much spice. Which really wasn't that wrong because we all knew I thought it was synthetic THC and everyone was letting me do that. Smoke THC. So, anyway. Probably would work out a little bit better than some of these mental health drugs. Just, in reserve. In reserve fashion. Lance Armstrong style. Hey, if he can beat 7 different types of cancers smoking pot, so can I, brother. So can I. Bob Marley style. Now I'm just getting ridiculous and nonsensical. Oh, nonsense on nonsense on nonsense. Making sense because everything was nonsense before turning it into nonsense. Huh. It's like a meme of a meme of a meme of a meme. Being me. Anyways, toodles.